right, everybody. Hello, and welcome back to another episode of On the Rocks with
Doolin Dalton
and the Mockingbird. We got a hopefully good show for you guys this week. Shout out to all 4 listeners.
Yo,
Yes.
that's a 3 more than last time.
So true.
Not to expose us, but
Yeah. My mom's listening. Is Tammy listening?
probably, yeah.
Mom Squad reppin'. We just Dalton and I for now. Might have a guest on later. I'm trying to line something up. We'll see. But for now, we're just chilling in the studio. Just got off fall break. How was your fall break?
It was good. I had a decent time.
You had a decent time. I guess we can talk about that decent time during the podcast portion. I didn't do much. I just got back disc golfing. One last final hoorah to set us off with a bang. But yeah, back to the humdrum, boring school.
Yeah. I'm about ready for the semester to be over.
Yeah, me too. And we're only halfway through October.
Yeah.
We're past the halfway point, right? We gotta be.
I don't know. I would hope so. I mean, I've had my midterms, so
Yeah.
middle,
Yeah, I'm having mine this week, so fingers crossed. We'll see how those go. But I think we've done enough talking to satisfy Anchor. So
Hopefully.
we shall kick it to the next song. This next song, I really, this is kind of a spur of the moment show for me. I didn't have much planned, didn't know what I was gonna play, so I just cobbled up some songs together, and we'll figure it out as we go. So for this first song, I really had to think deep. What's a good first song? I think a good first song, Duran Duran, Rio. All right, welcome back. And Dalton, I think, is a little confused right now.
I am.
Here,
You just went, yes! And then threw your arms up in the air.
Yes! And threw my arms up in the air. So, for those of you that don't follow sports or don't follow obscure things in sports, there's a phenomenon in the world of football called scoregami. And what that means is it is a Twitter page, 217,000 followers, created in September 2017, and the whole point is it's a robot that tracks every score of every single NFL game, and it tells you whether or not that score has ever happened before. And as of today, there are 1,067 unique different... Oh, looks like our guest has arrived. We'll let him in a second. But there's been 1,067 unique scores in NFL history, and today, for the first time in this NFL season, a new one has been set. It was the Los Angeles Rams and the New York Giants, 38-11, and that was the 1,067th unique final score in NFL history.
Interesting.
And I was so excited because this hasn't happened yet, and it's been so long. Usually one happens in the first couple of weeks, but this year, things were going super slow, and there have been so many close ones. And after every game, it tells you, if it's not scoregami, it tells you how many times that score has happened, and it tells you when it recently happened. So, today, Cincinnati, Detroit, 34-11, that score has only happened one other time on November 22nd, 1998, between the Buffalo Bills and the Indianapolis Colts. So, so many times this season, there have been, games that have ended like that. I've been so disappointed because I wanted to see it. I wanted to see scoregami. I wanted to see it happen. But finally, today, first time this season, scoregami, baby. So that's my day. The peak of my day is seeing scoregami for the first time this season.
Did you get a notification on your phone that just said scoregami?
I didn't. I just checked because I was like, I wonder, because Sunday Night Football. I was like, I wonder, maybe today's the day, and today was the day. Thank gosh, finally happened. But I think with my winded explanation, we can kick it to the next song. Next song being Last Train Home by John Mayer. That was Last Train Home by John Mayer, and we are officially joined by our cobbled up guest. Isaiah, want to say anything? Any thoughts?
I have a lot of thoughts. I don't know. What do you guys want me to talk about?
Introduce yourself.
Yeah, you've never been on the show before.
First time guest.
I showed up on the show one time when you guys did the on the streets thing.
Sure.
That was fun.
Easter egg.
Easter egg.
Oh, I'm Isaiah Miller. I go to Capitol here, music education, same as Joey.
Rep.
Disc golf club. Me and Joey actually just got back from playing a round of disc golf. It was really fun.
Isaiah's president and vice president.
Pretty pumped about the scoregami that Joey was talking about.
So true, Isaiah knows.
Yeah.
How's your fantasy team doing?
It's the second highest projection on our league, but the guy with the highest projection is going against me. So kind of sucks. My entire team's doing great except for T. Higgins, and got 7 points today. It's because they were up against the Lions, and the Lions really did their research. Still haven't won a game yet. Bengals doing pretty good, though. And I got the Browns defense. They were projected 6 points. Now they're projected -1 because they're up against the undefeated Cardinals this week.
So true.
But I got some other players that's doing pretty good, though.
Yeah, I'm personally excited because on Tuesday we begin our fantasy basketball league. And that is something that I am pretty excited about because I've never done fantasy before. And Isaiah started doing fantasy football this year. And I was like, that looks moderately enjoyably fun. It also encourages you to follow along with the sport that you're interested in. So I hate to use the word cobbled again because I feel like I'm using it a lot. But that's the word of the week, cobble. I cobbled up a couple of us. And we have 11 people.
Yeah, we have 11 people playing. I'm also in the league. So that means one person a week is going to do like a bye week, so none of their points are going to count. Or they're going to count, but they're not going to go against anyone to win anything.
Yeah, so that'll be exciting. On Tuesday, I go up against Mr. Jackson Barnes. That'll be fun. I hope to whoop him.
I'm up against one Ezra Bryles.
Classic Ezra. He's been on the show before.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm hoping I come out on top and start strong. I got some decent players. I could use a better center, and I got
2 centers.
You do have good centers. You do have 2 of the best centers.
Yeah, 2 in the top 5.
So maybe we can work something out, Isaiah. Maybe I could get Rudy Gay off your hands. Maybe who knows? That'd be a trade. But I think we'll kick it. I think I got a little soul kind of thing, little soul train, if you will.
Oh, Soul Train? A little bit of Soul Train.
There's no Soul Train song, unfortunately, but it is, in that same vein, in that same genre of music. So I'll kick it to the next couple tunes. All right, that was "What's Going On" by the late and great Marvin Gaye.
Jamming.
My mom said she appreciated the Marvin Gaye. And Isaiah, thoughts?
I love Marvin Gaye. If you ever looked at the Rolling Stones, they released like the top 500 songs of all time or something like that recently. Mm-hmm. And Marvin Gaye, that song specifically.
I'm pretty sure that the album, they did top 500 albums, and this album was the number 1 spot.
Yeah, that song specifically is like number 10 or something like that.
It was fun to play in big band.
It was a lot of fun.
But yeah, that was a little Soul Train section. Now we have to talk a little to appease the gods at Anchor, so they don't get mad at us.
It's true.
So what shall we fill this gap with?
I saw the new Halloween movie yesterday.
Ooh, did you see it yesterday or did you see it Thursday night or Wednesday night?
Was it called Halloween?
I saw it yesterday.
Oh. Which one did you watch Wednesday night then?
What did we watch Wednesday? We watched the previous one, Halloween 2018. Because I own it.
The new one last night.
Mm-hmm.
How was it? Thoughts?
Very good. Very good movie. Mm-hmm. People in the Halloween fandom are putting this on like their top 3 of all Halloween movies.
How's the critic score? Is it like
critic score is not great, but honestly that's to be expected nowadays when you're making like the 10th installment
of anything.
Yeah, so
Fast and Furious.
What's the movie called?
Halloween Kills.
But
yeah, I genuinely enjoyed it. I was prepared to go into the movie thinking that, it's probably not going to be great. I like 2018, so I was like, it can't be worse than 2018, and I like 2018. But, seeing the reviews and stuff like that, I was like, well, this is either going to suck or it's going to be really good, but I'm going to enjoy it either way.
I haven't seen any of the Halloween movies. Personally, I don't watch any scary movies.
Yeah, not a horror movie guy. It's not that I like scaries or anything. It's just I already have a low patience for movies. Like this weekend, I watched 3 movies. What was it? It was Coraline, Corpse Bride, and Black Panther. All 3 are movies that I either haven't seen in a while and forget what happens, or movies I haven't seen at all, like Corpse Bride. Never seen it before. And about halfway through all 3 of those movies, I got bored and looked up what happened at the end. I cannot sit through movies anymore. I don't know what it is. Unless I'm like going to the theaters to watch it because I'm so excited about it. If it's just like a random movie someone puts on, I cannot sit through it. I hate it.
Sometimes if I don't want to watch a movie, I found like the YouTube summary. It's like 20 minutes, so it doesn't like skip over cool parts. Like I didn't want to watch Benjamin Buttons. I didn't want to sit through the entire movie. So I watch a 20-minute summary, and it has like different scenes, so you get to see the picture and you get to see or get to hear the actual storyline. It was actually really cool. But now I feel like I'm going to have a bad tendency just to watch summaries of movies instead of actually
Like
watching the actual movie.
when I watched Coraline, I was like, I forget what happens at the end. Look it up, read what happened, and then, knew what happened at the end halfway through, because I didn't feel like sitting there the entire time. Although I did end up sitting there the entire time because I had nothing better to do.
See, if the songbird was still here, I know he would be raving about horror movies with me.
Yeah, sorry. That's from the
Shame.
Mockingbird.
Shame.
Now, are you guys the type of people to watch movies again, or do you just watch it once and then never want to watch it again?
If I really like it, I'll watch it again.
Yeah.
That's how I feel too, but I can't watch movies again because I know what's going to happen.
I thought
Yeah.
I thought I was that way with TV shows, but as it turns out, I'm not. Because over the past 2 weeks, I watched all 8 seasons of Brooklyn Nine-Nine again.
Oh my gosh.
That is a show and a half right there. I love it so much.
I've seen New Girl twice. That's probably one of my favorite.
Yeah. My household is currently in the process of watching New Girl.
Hmm.
I didn't get into it that much, but I'll sit down and watch an episode or two occasionally. But I absolutely blew.
I love Jake Johnson.
I blew through Brooklyn Nine-Nine. Like, Troy would like, because I would just like watch it. I'd get home and watch it, and Troy would like come and sit down, and he'd like miss like a season and a half, and be like, "Wow, a lot's changed in the past day that it's been since I watched this." So yeah, what's Dylan Dalton doing?
Dylan Dalton just went to check and see if we were actually recording any of the show because he did not hit play on the SD card, but I realized that the Mockingbird did. So God bless the Mockingbird.
I did.
It's recording. Something's recording over there.
I didn't touch a single button.
Oh my God.
This is great.
How are we recording the show? I didn't press it.
I didn't press it. I did notice that, like, I was like, the time, because it shows you how long it's been recording for.
Yeah.
And I was like, that's a little shorter than how long we've been live for. But
Did
I
it
don't-
automatically
Not
record?
by 4 minutes. Maybe it did.
Or maybe you hit it and didn't know it.
I definitely didn't hit it because Joey came in here and I didn't touch
definitely
anything.
didn't touch it either.
We have a ghost in here.
We do. Thank you, Ghost, though.
Yeah,
Honestly,
thank you. Hopefully it's recording. I
Of
don't
all-
know.
Halloween ghost.
Of all the ghosts we could have had, I'll take this ghost. This is kind of a nice ghost.
Yeah, that's
Are you
crazy.
guys gonna? Is Halloween on Sunday this year?
It
Yes.
is.
So you guys are gonna have a Halloween show.
It is. We
Yeah,
were
I have a
just talking
Halloween
about it before
show.
you walked in here.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because we have a very special guest coming in
We do.
and tight schedule, so we're gonna have to pre-record the show.
Very
Okay.
tight
But we
schedule.
just booked it. It's
We
booked.
did.
It's ready to go. Our guest is planning on coming in, so
Mhm.
very
It'll
special
be-
show, and everyone should tune in to listen to it
Yeah.
on Halloween.
Maybe we'll be up in costumes and everything.
Maybe.
I know. I'll probably just end up being a Skittle. As spoken last week, I'll probably just be a Skittle because I cannot think of literally anything else to be.
Mhm.
So, also, update on my lost wallet situation. Shout out my mother. I am no longer an empty man because I have a wallet with a credit card in it.
No student ID though, because
No.
you still texted me to get you in this
no
building.
student ID. That let me describe the situation. So when I first lost my wallet, I went to public safety and I was like, "Hey, do you guys have a wallet?" And she was like, "Look for it." And she was like, "No." And then she's like, "Okay, you can come in anytime public safety is open and get a new student ID." And I was like, "Cool." And public safety is open from like 7 to 5, I think, is about the time. I was like, "Okay, cool." And so I had to wait until I got some money to spend. And she said it was $10. So I had $10 with me. And I went there at like 4:30 because I just got out of class and got the money. And I was like, okay. I walk in and I was like, I'm here to get a new student ID. And she's like, oh, you have to come in here when Kevin's in here because Kevin's the public safety guy that runs everything at public safety.
Oh my gosh.
And I was like, when's
Oh,
Kevin
my.
here? And she's like, Kevin will be here from 10 to 3.
That's my boss.
And I was like, okay, I will come in on Kevin's terms. So, following Monday, walk in with $10. Kevin's there, hip hip hooray, and I say, I'm here for a new student ID. And he's like, actually, you have to go to student accounts, pay them, get the receipt, bring it back here, and I'll print your new student ID. And I was like, okay, I'll do that. So I go to student accounts with $10 in hand, and I'm like, I'm here for a new student ID. And she says, all right, that'll be $15.
Oh gosh.
And and then I can get one now, but I'm just
It's so complicated to
shaking-
get
I'm
through,
shaking
get
a
anything on this campus.
it's so bureaucratic. It's insane.
I have a similar story. I went home on Friday, and I'm going to Berlin in May. So Neil, our advisor who's taking us, was like, "Hey, make sure everyone gets their passport. We're gonna have a meeting on November 6th. We got bring your passport, you need to copy it, stuff like that."
That's my girlfriend's birthday.
And I was like, "Cool. I'll go home. I'll grab my passport. Everything will be handy dandy, right?" And beforehand, I was like, "Mom, I don't need a new passport, right? Because when you need a new license when you turn 21." So I was like,
Yeah.
"Oh, maybe that's how it is with passports, whatever." She's like, "No, it lasts for 10 years." Go home, look at my passport. It expires November 30th,
Oh,
and I needed in May, so I need a new passport. But the thing is, since I got it when I was 15, it only lasts for 5 years. Not 10 years. It also, since I got it when I was 15, I can't just renew it. I have to get a whole brand new one and go through the whole process of getting a brand new passport.
What is the process to get a passport? It can't be that. It probably is that complicated.
So far, it's not that complicated, but I also haven't talked to any bureaucratic person yet. So I filled out the form online, which basically, you just put in all your information. They're like, "Do you have another passport? Oh, blah, blah, blah. This for this specific scenario. You got it when you're 15, blah, blah, blah." Okay, print out this form, bring this along with your old passport, your ID, your birth certificate, and a photo. So I got a photo done today at CVS. And then on Tuesday, my mom has to bring me up a check from the bank because you need, what's it called? Do you guys know?
Bank statement?
It's not a statement, but it's
Check
like,
stub?
no, it's like a check that only the bank can give out because it's like guaranteed funds. I forget what
Teller's
it's called.
check?
Yes.
Okay.
And so she's bringing that up on Tuesday, and we're going to go to, I guess, the Postal Service, because I looked it up on the government website where it's like, you can turn in all of your passport stuff to this office, but it's just a USPS.
yeah, it's like a government-funded place. There's not a lot of government-funded, specifically, and post office is just a common one.
Yeah, but it's kind of weird where it's like, yeah, you can just turn in all that stuff at the post office. Where it's like, okay, so you're just mailing it in. Why can't I just mail it in from my own, mailbox?
I don't know.
Whatever.
I think if you get it there, they'll secure it compared to
That's
your
true, because it
mailbox.
is going to have my birth certificate in it. So
Yeah.
I have
don't want that stolen.
never left the country, so I could not tell you this process.
But it takes a while to get it back. That's the
I would
thing.
love to leave the country.
So you'll just either get a passport in 10 weeks and along with your birth certificate, or you'll get a thing in 10 weeks. It's like, oh, you were denied for whatever reasons. And I cannot be denied because I will not have time to go through the whole process again after 10 to 14 weeks.
If you do get denied, that's a lot of money.
Yeah.
Fingers crossed you do not get denied. With that, I think we have talked enough. So I think I will kick it. I feel like I always use that phrase to describe going
I
to
always
the
do
next
it
song.
too. I always say kick it or jump to.
I'm going to jump to the next song. I got some Sammy Ray in the queue. Shout out Jackson. Shout out Troy. My other Sammy Ray friends. So yeah, without further ado, let's get it. All right, that song was A Girl Called Johnny by the Waterboys. I feel like my mom has, or the fact that my mom is listening has inspired a lot of my music taste today, because that is one of her favorite bands, if not, I think maybe her favorite band. But yeah, so another interesting thing I thought to talk about was on the topic of scoregami. There is another thing created by the same guy, John Boys, who does very interesting sports videos on YouTube and creates all this cool stuff. And this creation that he made is called the Surrender Index. And what that measures is any time an NFL team punts, it measures who they punted against, where they punted against, what down it was in their yardage, how long they have left in the quarter, and how badly they were losing, or if they were losing. And it measures that to create how cowardly, quote unquote, this punt was. And today, 4 hours ago, Houston decided to punt to Indiana from the Indiana 39th yard line on 4th and 9th with 14 minutes and 55 seconds remaining in the second quarter while losing 0-7. And that lands a surrender index of 30.83. which ranks at the 99.2nd percentile of cowardly punts this year. And since the year 1990, it is in the 98th percentile of all punts. So it's an extraordinarily cowardly punt. And just little things like this, make my day interesting, because I can just see interesting facts like that. And as somebody who loves interesting facts, that absolutely fascinates me.
You see the double punt that happened on a college game the other day?
I did see that.
Yeah, the guy went to go punt, and I don't remember if he caught it or dropped it or something, but he punted, and then he picked up his own ball and ran the sideline and punted again, and it was a crazy double punt, but it worked. And the other team wasn't fully expecting that. They thought it was down right away, so they got the ball. It was pretty nice.
Yeah. Do you have anything you want to contribute, Dalton? I know you're not much of a sports guy.
I don't know. I don't really watch football or NFL or college football or any of that stuff. So I find it interesting. Coward, dude. Yeah. Hate them.
Yeah, darn cowards. Them and their darn cowardly punts. But yeah, it's more so I just find fascinating things like that to be, fascinating.
I found out what a black hair slug was a few days ago.
I
believe that's what it's called. I forget what it's called, but it's just a giant slug.
It's a giant slug. Anything else special about it, or is it just a giant slug?
I guess they're super friendly.
Have you ever heard of banana slugs?
Aren't they
Yes,
super poisonous?
I think so. I don't know, but our high school, our elementary school, we had a whole program called the banana slugs, and it happened every year. And they were it was an environmental group trying to get us to learn more about the environment. And I know each grade level from kindergarten to 5th grade would learn a different song. And every year, I remember being in 3rd grade, we learned the water cycle boogie. And it's just precipitation and evaporation, all that. And everyone's goal was to get to 5th grade, because 5th grade is when you learn the rock song and you learn about metamorphosis, igneous, and sedimentary. And it was really cool. And we would go to a park and learn these songs, and then we would dress up, do different stuff. And I remember the gift at the very end, once you graduated the banana slug, was fool's gold. It was really cheap, but it was super shiny and it looked like gold. It was actually really cool.
That is an interesting concept. I never did anything remotely that interesting.
We had a wax museum, but we were the figures.
We did that too.
We did people, famous people from Ohio, and we would dress up as them and just sit in the hallway, and then our families would come and be like, oh, who are you? Tell me about yourself. I did Steven Spielberg.
I feel like I did do that.
I did Wilbur Wright, and my best friend was Orville Wright.
You unlocked a core memory, because I just remember my mom, maybe my mom, I don't remember exactly, but somebody in my family made me, I was Abraham Lincoln, and I remember they used a basketball as a way to make the beard. They used that as the thing to make my beard, and I was Abraham Lincoln. I don't remember anything but that, but core memory unlocked, I think. Who knows?
We had to do a whole bunch of stuff. We had to make a mask. We had to dress up that's for Halloween, but instead of going out and buy a costume, we had to make the costume in the classroom. And I wanted to be a leprechaun, so I got a tan ski mask and then cut the hair off of a toy horse, put it on the head. It was so bad.
Did you ever have the things on St. Patrick's Day where I remember doing this in kindergarten, where you left the room and when you came back the room was torn asunder, and you had to solve who did it, and it was
no,
that was a crazy day. But man, the things they'd have us do in elementary school.
There's so much stuff in elementary.
We had chickens one time.
The chickens?
Yeah. Someone brought in an incubator, and we watched the chickens.
I remember
we had that too.
We raised chickens in my biology class.
Yeah,
we got
second
our own.
grade.
We got to watch them grow throughout the couple weeks we did it. It's cool.
I remember because we did that 2nd grade, because I took 2nd grade twice, so I got to do it 2 times. And I live on a farm, so we had chickens at home, and I went home and told my mom how chickens were made.
Dang. If you didn't take 2nd grade twice, you would be freaking young for your grade.
I took second grade twice, but I skipped third grade
Oh,
because I was really smart, but I had a lot of behavior problems.
dang. SMH Isaiah.
Yeah.
Isaiah be active.
Never took third grade.
Always acting up.
I was offered to skip kindergarten because I could use a computer extraordinarily well. And my parents were like, well, he can't do other things extraordinarily well, so no. And thankful for that. God knows what situation I'd be in if I skipped kindergarten because I could use a computer well.
Do you guys ever have to do AR books where you read a book and then you have to take a test online and then you have to get a certain score?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember the term AR books, but I don't actually remember doing any.
I remember we
We had to read books, and then you take a test online, and then you get a score. And then for us, every time you get 10 points, you got a sticker on the locker, or just depending on my classroom. We had a race car one time that went around the classroom, and I was the first person in my entire class to do an AR book. But that's because I did an AR book based off of the flip book. Never actually read the book, but I took the test online and could guess every question because it just rhymed with whatever the answer was.
big brain. I remember in 7th grade we had to do a book report. We all went down to the library in the school and picked out books to do a report on. And I was genius and picked the book I already read, so I didn't have to read it when I wrote about it. And also, I remember I did a book report in my sophomore year, and we had same thing, pick a book, write about it. There's different prompts that you can do, whatever. And I picked out Catch-22 because I always wanted to read the book. But then I got the book and I was like, oh yeah, I hate reading books. I don't want to read this. And one of the prompts you could do for a report was to extend the ending. So I literally read the ending. I read the last 3 pages of the book, extended the ending, and got a 100% on it. So,
I did the same project 3 years in a row on the same book.
that's probably easy.
Yeah, freshman through junior year. My senior year, my teacher came up to me and said, "Hey, you can't do your project on this." I was like, "Well, how do you know that I did it on that the last 3 years?" I mean, we had a different book project, but I always chose for one of the projects the same book.
Classic school shenanigans. But I think it's time to jump to, not kick it. There will be no kicking to here. Jump to the next song. And honestly, I don't know where I got this, but I always thought, Dalton, that you'd listen to the band Sungazer, or at least maybe in passing.
Mm-mm.
I don't know why I thought that, but I'm going to play something off Sungazer's new album. It's called Threshold, and very interesting concept because it's a song that's designed to feel both extraordinarily slow and very fast. And I remember, because I saw this live, and they were like, Adam, he's the bassist for the band, Adam Neely, he explained the concept and was like, all right, you guys, because we had to count to 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, but it was super slow, and it was just cool, and people kept time surprisingly well. But then again, most of us are probably musicians, because who else listens to Adam Neely?
True.
But yeah, it's very experimental sounding music. It's like modern jazz fusion, if that makes sense. But without further ado, we'll jump to the next song. This is Threshold by Sungazer. All right, a little bit of an abrupt ending there because it cuts it very close to the end of that song and the beginning of the next, and I didn't want to risk having it bleed over because I'm still new at this. But yeah, that was Christmas in L.A. by Wolfpack. I saw Isaiah banging his head. He asked me what it was, and I told him. So I
Added
think he
it
liked
to
it.
one of my playlists.
Hey, there you go.
There you go. New Wolfpack listener every day.
Let's go.
Wolfpack, insane. Joe Dart, sane bassist. That's it. And I think
From Sungazer?
no, that's Adam Neely.
Yeah, well, you said same bassist. What am I?
I said insane bassist.
Oh, I thought you said same bass. My bad.
Adam Neely is not in Wolfpack, although that would go pretty hard, TBH. But Joe Dart, bassist for Wolfpack, is insanely good in his own right. Corey Wong on guitar, probably in this. Insane guitarist. Yeah, all around just insane members of this band, all around.
Insane brain.
But yeah, I think we're getting.
We're
I'm not gonna say it. We're getting close. We're getting close to the podcast portion. I think we might start it not right now, but a little bit early. I'm trying to get out of here a little before 7. But Maestro, I
You
can do
want
it.
to talk about disc golf?
What is there to talk about with disc golf? We went disc golfing today.
Yeah. We were talking earlier about how hard it is to get anything here through public safety, and we had a tournament last weekend and we were trying to get vans
Oh yeah.
for that, but you had to actually have the advisor driving the van or on the van.
And then you have to pass like a road test.
Yeah, road test and a written
insurance,
test.
Written test, insurance.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
Crazy.
And you have to sign up to get credit cards for like different events and stuff. But those are like, they're at the same time. On weekends, you can only get it at 6:30 p.m. And like, I want to have events earlier in the day, earlier than 6:30.
True.
And it's so hard to get that.
I mean,
And you can buy stuff in advance, but like food, it's kind of hard to do that.
can't you also like get the card like on Friday?
Yeah, you can, but it's very difficult.
Was it difficult when we did it last week for the tournament to get pizza?
We didn't get a credit card for the tournament. Currently, that's out of my pocket, which is why I don't have money.
That makes more sense. Have you?
I'm currently like $200 in debt to this club.
have you sought out reimbursement for that? Because that's definitely a thing.
Yeah, reimbursement is also very hard to get, but I'm working on that right now.
Dang.
Anyway, but join the disc golf club.
Join the
It's a lot of
disc golf
fun.
club. It's difficult to run a club. We gotta ask like some of these people.
It's
how they
not
do it.
difficult to disc golf, though.
It's not difficult to disc golf, but it's difficult to manage a disc golf club.
Mm-hmm.
You should get Dalton into disc golf sometime.
And
I've thrown a disc, and you guys had it at the fountains. I got it in.
Yeah.
Sunk it right in.
You should go
I tried
play
to
with us.
300 feet away on a tee pad. See what happens.
I bet I'd get I bet I'd get it, dude. I'd ace every hole.
I would
Hole
take
one
you to
every single
Idlewild.
time.
They have a hole there that's 1,000 feet long,
Hole
par
one.
5.
Home one. It's all about confidence.
They have the
Second throw is the most important.
Yeah, that's true. Mid-range game. Today they had the Pro Tour Championship for the female and males, and I don't know how that's going, but I know that they announced the female winner this morning. But they probably should have the male, but at the end of the day, because they only let 4 people go into the finals, which is crazy because usually finals are like 10 people, but they only have 4.
Who knows? Who knows? Disc golf, crazy stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Legendary Paige Pierce got 2 over, and Ricky Wysocki didn't even make it into the finals. It's crazy because he was seed number 1 the entire season. You guys don't know much about disc golf, but I'm kind of a fiend for it.
I'd
implying I'm not a
expect, I'd
fiend
expect
for disc
so.
golf?
Yeah.
I'm a
Oh,
fiend for
Joe's the
playing.
vice president.
Yeah, I'm a fiend for playing disc golf. I casually keep up with that stuff. I don't fully engross myself in it, at least not at this current point in time. Maybe someday, hopefully someday. But I know the big names. James Conrad, Paul Macbeth, Simon Lizotte. Can't forget his name, Isaiah's freaking tilt, which if you don't know is a disc that is pretty wild in function and price.
It doesn't throw like a normal frisbee. You expect it to throw a frisbee and it glides. You throw this one, it digs right into the ground.
It does. It's very,
But
very,
you have to, if you throw it a certain way, it curves right around a tree perfectly.
very, very interesting approach. But yeah, I think we'll kick it to these next couple songs and then proceed. I said it again, and then proceed to kick it. I guess I'll stick with it. Kick it to the podcast portion. So up next, guest request, "Kill the Sun" by Mother Folk. Emphasis on the Folk, because I feel like when I say that word, it sounds like something else. That's what I thought. I thought Isaiah said something else when he said the band's name of Mother Folk. I thought he said something else, and I was like, "Kill the Sun" by who? But yeah, we'll kick it to this next song. All right, that was personal guilty pleasure of mine, Two Princes by the Spin Doctors. And in between that, the first song, we had a little bit of Sammy Ray action. Shout out, new guest, introduce yourself.
What is up? It is J.S. Barnes-10 himself, Jackson Barnes, otherwise known as Scooch.
Scooch.
Ain't that right, Scooch? What do you mean Scooch, question mark? As if I haven't been calling him Scooch since freshman year.
I've never heard Scooch.
It all started because we were in MDR, and
It really took off last year.
It really did take off last year, but before that, in first year, it was kind of an inside joke thing. But he set down his bag next to me in MDR, our dining hall, and I saw JSB, and before I realized it stood for his full name, Jackson Scott Barnes, I was like, "What does the S stand for?" And he was like, Scoochie.
Off the cuff,
No, it
way
was
out
just,
of pocket.
You just said Scooch. Scooch. And I was like, okay. And then I added the E to Scoochie because that is something I do. I would just tend to make people's names longer than they actually are until it just ends up being like a nickname or something. So Scoochie, bona fide classic.
Mm-hmm.
And then last year it really took off because I would say things like, ain't that right, Scooch?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
He
true.
screamed that from right outside my room. Granted, I was on the third floor.
Third floor Loman.
Third floor.
I was
He-
walking by.
I don't. Did you think I was in my room?
I saw the window open and the lights on.
I was with him, and he asked me if you were in the room.
And I said something, and then I just look up and said, ain't that right, Scooch? And I heard, yeah. From like all the way up there. Just a faint, yeah. And then we all busted a gut, and it's funny. And just ever since then, he's been Scoochie to me. In my heart, that's Scoochie.
Yes, sir.
I always use the word scooch as, you know, a phrase of please move. But now it's a term of endearment for my lifelong friend, JSB.
Lifelong friend of 3 years.
Lifelong friend of 3 years. So true. But yeah, this is the podcast portion of On the Rocks with
Dylan Dalton.
and the Mockingbird. So we got two guests that I have cobbled up.
Cobble.
We got Isaiah, we got JSB, Scoochie Barnes. Got a lot to talk about today. I know I said I was going to start it early, but it just turned out not starting too early because I had to play an extra song for Jackson to get here. So did not start early. And also, Two Princes, I always forget how long that song is. I think it's like 5 or 6 minutes. But yeah, first show after fall break. Tears being shed in the studio now that we have to go back to classes after a very, very long 2-day break. What do we do this break? We'll start with me.
Selfish. Wow. Okay.
Well, I'm just, you know,
Wow. Okay.
didn't do anything. Thursday night, I went and saw one of Troy's friends play saxophone at a brewery. I bought a very nice glass, and then that was it. Then I haven't really done anything since. I went disc golfing today. That's
How'd
it.
you do?
I did really good considering, because normally like all the times because we went to Blended Woods, which is about 20 minutes away up north of Columbus, and all the times I went to that course prior was when I was not amazing at disc golfing, and we would do like, you know, it hits the basket, I saw it go in, you know, we're still beginners, and also a lot of times like if you throw it into the bushes, you like take it out of the bushes and throw it from like right there. I
Talk about
didn't.
the guy we met.
What'd you say, Isaiah?
Talk about the guy we met today.
I'll get to
played
that.
with.
I'll get to that. But you know, usually if you like throw it in the bushes or in like a river, you throw it like onto like the fairway. But I didn't do any of that. I played it where I lied, and I still got -1, which
You got -1?
Yeah.
Wow.
Isaiah got. What'd you get, Isaiah? -8,
-10.
-10.
Wow.
So but all things considered, I did pretty good. You know, playing by those tournament rules. But yeah, and then there was one guy who just came out of nowhere behind us. He's like, "Can I play ahead of you guys?" And we're like, "Yeah, sure." Played ahead. And then about maybe 3 or 4 holes later, he was just chilling there. And then like he introduced himself. His name was Preston. And he's like, "Mind if I tag along with you guys on your card?" And we're like, "Sure." Really interesting fellow. He was wearing a shirt with wolves howling at the moon on it. I feel like that's all I need to say to give you
That really is all you need to say.
an accurate description of this guy. He wasn't bad. He's pretty good. Did he get -8, Isaiah?
Yeah, he got -8. He was pretty good.
There's a microphone that you can talk into that'll help project your voice.
Wow.
If you do so choose.
Selfish
Sorry.
and rude.
Maybe I should talk in a little higher pitch too, because I heard somewhere.
Little birdie told me. A little Isaiah.
A little. Some of the viewers said I was talking too low.
Yeah. But interesting guy. Interesting guy. And then Isaiah let him use like a disc or something. He's like, "You have a driver I can borrow and try out?" And he threw it, and then we were walking past it, and he's like, "I'll let you pick it up. I've been known to do some pretty strange things, you know." I tend to not give stuff back. And then like I got in the car with Isaiah afterwards, and he was like, "You know, he could have just not said that."
Yeah, I was fine. Like he was pretty fun, and then he said that, and I was like, okay, well, okay.
Interesting guy. He said he's been there every day for the past 3 weeks.
Yeah, and he disc golfs with his 2-year-old daughter as well.
Was she there?
A
No,
little chilly.
it's too. She said, he said it was a little too chilly for her.
A little too chilly for a 2-year-old to be out and about. It was pretty chilly today.
That's
But
honestly impressive doing disc golf at 2 years old. I can barely.
Well, he says he was in a stroller, so she probably wasn't throwing
Yeah.
any gifts.
Okay.
They do the bear bad news, but yeah, that was about it.
Quick
For me,
round, pretty fun.
it was. It took us less than about probably a little over 2 hours, I'd say. But yeah,
Crazy.
yeah. Dalton, you next. What'd you do over fall break?
I honestly did not do much. I made it so I didn't have any schoolwork to do on Friday and Saturday because I needed a day or two where I just wasn't working on anything and could just relax and chill out. So on Friday, I went home and saw my mom because
Really?
Allison went to our high school football game and I did not want to join because I don't enjoy going back to high school. I think it's weird seeing people I don't know. But yeah, so I stayed home with my mom. She cut my hair because she tends to cut my hair. She's pretty good at it. And we watched Halloween 4 and 5 because we both like the Halloween movies and just chilled out, hung out until Allison came and picked me up later and we came back to school. And then on Saturday, like I said, I just stayed home and in the evening we watched Halloween Kills in the theaters. So
So true.
Which Halloween's your favorite Halloween?
this is going to be a really hot take. Are you like a fan of the Halloween franchise?
I saw like the remake back like a couple years ago, and I think I've seen most of 4 and 5, and probably a little bit of the earlier ones. But I get the basic premise of them.
Okay, so my favorite is 3, the one without Michael Myers.
Really,
Yeah,
that is a very hot take.
yeah, it's a very hot take. I like the science fiction aspect of that movie a lot, so that's my favorite. If you were to ask me what's my favorite Michael Myers movie, 2018, the remake.
Really
Yeah,
interesting.
and the sequel, Halloween Kills, very good. Highly recommend it. So
All right, Isaiah, you're up next.
So my weekend, I've been suffering from like a fever and a sore throat
Not
since
COVID,
like last
but-
Friday.
103.
Yeah, 100. It was
That's crazy.
103.8. It was pretty crazy.
Didn't like your doctor say you couldn't talk because your fever was so high? It could like hurt.
Yeah, my throat was
damage.
hurting so much. The doctor told me I wasn't supposed to talk a lot. Talked a lot.
It was not COVID. By the way,
It was not COVID.
It was not
I was fine. Anyway, so I was suffering that from Wednesday night. Thursday night, I went home, didn't do much. Friday night, went home. I was home, didn't do much, worked on homework. Yesterday, Saturday, I worked at Milton Union High School, worked with their band. And then after I worked with their band in the morning, because they had a competition in the evening, I went to Pickwill High School and I worked with them because I worked both their band camps over the summer. And I worked with them, and then I helped Milton Union warm up because they were at the same competition, and I went on the field. That was a lot of fun. Got my name announced as a helper, which was really cool. And then I helped with Pickwill High School as well, and both bands scored a superior rating. Pickwill put me under one of the assistant directors, which was super nice. I was surprised for that. And they both did really well. We got to see Grove City, who won most of the trophies and won the whole champion thing there. But other than that, it was a long day. Other than that, Thursday and Friday did absolutely nothing. Today, disc golf with Joey and met the new guy, Preston, I think his name was, but it was pretty cool.
Such a disc golfer name.
So, I'm
Preston.
Preston. I just golf every day, past 3 weeks.
Prestige
daughter.
Preston.
He just started 3 weeks ago, too.
He did, and he's pretty decent. Better than me. But anyway, Scoochie.
So Scooch's fall break was it started a bit early on Thursday. I had to wake up at 5:45 a.m. and go into a high school and stayed there the whole day because I am a music educator and
Get in line, Jackson.
Get in line.
very rare these days. But I went in real early, and I normally only get to see the first 3 bands because the first 2 are high school ensembles. They're a big high school. They have a lot of ensembles, and it's like 2 in the morning, 2 in the afternoon. So I never get to see the afternoon, but I did today. Also, there's the first two ensembles, but then they go to middle schools and they help out. But those hours don't count for some reason, even though it's the high school director. So I went with them, and then I went to a different middle school. And actually, this was pretty interesting, because this guy's name is Mr. Black. I won't dox the middle school.
Smart.
But his name's Mr. Black. Very tall dude. I've met him before at the concert that me and Isaiah went to. But I got there, and he was like sorting out shirts with Mr. Scholes, my teacher guy that I'm basically shadowing.
So you work with a Mr. Scholes and Mr. Black?
Mr. Scholes, mostly Mr. Scholes, and actually Mr. Doolittle. Like
These are made up people. These are not real
I
names.
promise. But yeah, he jokes about like Dr. Doolittle and stuff like that. But very nice people. If the off chance they're listening, very nice people. But well, they're still nice. They're still nice people. But anyway, Mr. Black, he's very high energy. I could tell that. He was sorting shirts and stuff. He was a bit interesting. So then the school was on like 25-minute periods for some reason. They had like an assembly or something. And in that time, it was the 7th grade and then 6th grade. So the 7th grade came in, and I was just chilling in the back. I was like, hey, what's up, percussion? I'm a percussion. This is how you hit this thing. It's basic teacher stuff. And so then it was the 6th grade, and he was like, okay, you can actually take the percussion and go into another room and have a little sectional. And I was like, okay. And then they all had their little bell kits, their adorable little bell kits, and it was interesting, as much as you can get done with 6th graders in 25 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
But then I came back into the band room, and what I see is Mr. Black. He's like the searching for approval kind of guy, is the vibes I got from him. But I came in, and he had like a headset on with a mic, and it was hooked up to a speaker, and he was beatboxing for the kids. He was straight beatboxing. He was like, yeah, I'm actually a professional beatboxer. And the kids were like, no, you're not. And then he did it, and they're like, eh.
Was it like not good beatboxing or like subpar, like not professional level beatboxing?
It was about as good beatboxing as you would be in disc golfing, Joey.
Okay.
Decent.
Okay.
Sorry.
Joey was
Okay.
like, was that an insult or?
I don't know. I don't know.
It was a neutral comment, as neutral as I could make it. But he's just beatboxing. I was just standing back there awkward, like, am I supposed to
Am I supposed to be beatboxing too? or-
agreeing with this?
You just nod your head like, yeah.
Oh, and then before I left, there was a random kid that looked at me, and Mr. Scholes is my director guy, and this kid looked at me, and he hadn't seen me before, and he looked confused, and he was like, Mr. Scholes? So I was like, wow, I look like a middle-aged blonde man. Which,
Isaiah's shaking his head, yes.
So true. Round of applause in the studio for middle-aged white man Scoochie Barnes.
but yeah, then I got to see the other two high school bands, and I got a pretty good compliment from Mr. Scholes. And he when he was introducing me, he was like, this is Mr. Barnes. He's actually here on his fall breaks, showing strong initiative. Really, really adding Isaiah right now for being sick and missing the last couple
Imagine
times.
not having strong initiative. Call Isaiah. Call.
Not having a strong immune system.
Yeah, he was like, strong initiative. He's going to have a really strong future as a music educator. I was like, oh, that's really nice.
So true. So true.
So other than that, cried a bit over the weekend. That's about it.
There
So
you go.
true. So true. All right. Well, that was all of our collective fall breaks. What is there to talk about now? I feel like there was something we were like gonna talk about, but it slipped my mind.
You're always slipping.
I am slipping. I'd be lacking. We're lacking and slacking.
Oh, we got two guests here, you
We
know.
have two guests. What do you?
I'm the president of the disc golf club, but sitting next to me, Scoochie, president of the Tyco
President
club.
of the Tyco Club.
Ooh, tell us about Tyco Club.
Well, we meet
What is Taiko? I think for
Taiko. Ooh,
Start-
this is
Start
cool.
simple.
Taiko in Japanese literally means drum. So, and what Taiko is it combines martial arts with big drums, and sometimes smaller drums, but they're typically big drums, and they're just booming. There's no like melodic aspect to it. It's just boomy and really loud, really energetic, really cool. So it looks like you're like swinging two swords at a big drum, and I get to do that and yell a bit, and it's pretty cool. It's pretty fun. So anybody listening wants to be in the Taiko Club.
All 5 listeners. Mom, if you want to be in the
Five
Taiko-
listeners, wow.
Mom, if you want to be in the Taiko Club, hit up Jackson. He can get you started on Taiko. Or Tammy, if you want to join the Taiko Club, hit up Jackson. He's got you. I feel like Tammy would go hard on Taiko.
Oh, Tammy, I did not mean to insult your son earlier about with the disc golf comment.
No, Tammy's Dolan's mom. Pamela's my mom.
Okay.
Get right.
How do you
Sorry,
not know this?
I don't. I've only seen your mom like in the 2 seconds we passed by your house.
Whatever. Shame. For shame. I feel like I mentioned Pamela a decent amount.
You do.
I do.
Now I think about
Every
it, you
time
do.
Joey has a good drive, he dedicates it to Pamela.
I'm like, this one's for Pamela. I've also dedicated. I dedicated one to Troy's mom before. I said this one's for Krista, and it was a good drive. So I guess Krista gives me some good luck too. But Pamela be giving me great luck, fantastic luck even. But now you know. Now you know, Jackson.
Yeah. Now you know.
Now you know. But
I didn't mean to insult Tammy's son either. If I happened to insult Tammy's son.
I'm gonna say you didn't mean to insult Pamela's son. I'm gonna say that.
Pamela's
Yeah,
son.
You haven't said that yet. She's waiting for it. She's upset.
She's
Screaming.
She's screaming at you, Jackson, right now.
You not only offended the son, you also offended her as well.
Yeah.
At this point, you're offending the show and the listeners.
You really are. I don't know who the other 3 listeners are, but they're offended.
Well, we got the Spotify listeners too. They'll be in tomorrow.
Yeah, all those German and Filipino listeners. Are
Yeah,
upset.
really.
They're seething. They're foaming at the mouth at your comments.
wow.
Oh, my mom just said hi, everyone, smiley face. So I guess she's not mad. She's not screaming, kicking, and crying right now that you insulted my honor and my beatboxing ability and my disc golf ability. But life goes on. Whether or not I am a
Black holes.
decent disc golfer or not, cough, scoochy cough.
You're a good chess player.
I am a good chess player. You know who isn't a good chess player? Sir Blunders a lot, Mr. Jackson Barnes.
Listen,
Man.
You want blundering?
under the stress of low time, I tend to do worse. Okay.
You tend to blunder your queen.
I tend to blunder important pieces.
I think every single game I've played against you, Jackson, you blundered your queen.
every game that I've lost against you, probably I've
This
blundered.
weekend. You
This
blundered.
okay. I lost all the games against you this weekend.
I technically have not lost yet.
It's also very hard for Joey to get a game against Jackson because he often ignores him.
Yeah,
Through text.
Donawald, if you will. But yeah, I'll just be like, "Hey, Jackson, want to play chess?" And then he won't respond. Then I'll send like a video of a guy talking to a wall, because sucks to be ignored. But we played some good games. I had a great game against Sam. Ended in a stalemate. Not technically a loss, but not technically a win. But we do be playing chess a lot. In this
I've been out
house,
of
we
the
play
game for a
chess.
while. Joey, game of chess after this?
Sure.
All right, cool.
There you go.
Yeah. So, what should we wager for this game of chess? Whose honor are we gonna win?
Not the previous wager.
Not the previous wager. Dang, Isaiah, talking to a brick wall right now.
Sorry, my girlfriend's coming back from Michigan. She works up there with one of her roommates. They're harvesting marijuana right now because it's
She works on a pot farm.
no one of her roommates lives on a pot farm and they are currently harvesting weed. She herself does not smoke weed, but
Is she getting paid to do this?
oh yeah, she gets paid a lot of money to do it.
So where can one hypothetically harvest weed? She said this is so boring. Is that what she said?
Yeah, they do the same thing all day long.
That would be
But
boring.
guys go out there and actually take the plants, right? And then they bring them back to them after they cut off the stems and stuff.
What's the pay here? What are we talking?
She gets paid $280 a day. And she worked 2 days. And all
Not
she
bad.
does is just get the leaves off the plants.
For 2 days of work, that's insane.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
it's about
crazy.
she said she worked about 10 and a half hours with
I gotta
about
get
an hour break in the middle.
I gotta get a weed farming. They said she gets $280 a day.
Yeah, but it's because one of her roommates owns a farm.
That's like 28 now.
Well, one of her roommate's boyfriends owns the farm,
Still.
and then they work there.
Dang.
Yeah.
I gotta
None
find-
of them smoke, which is never actually use it.
Well, duh, can't get high off your own supply. Everyone knows that.
Sure.
Yeah.
Hey, thanks, Jackson. Thanks. I know I always gotta reel one of my quote when I hear Jackson laugh. Anytime I say a bad joke, I can count on Jackson to laugh at it.
Same with Eve. Eve
So-
also always laughs at the jokes too.
But yeah.
I'm laughing at how bad they were.
So true.
So it's technically a pity laugh,
Technically a W though. It's still dub. We take those. We take the small
but I'm
ones.
laughing at the humor and how not humorous.
That makes
It is.
sense. Are you calling me not funny? First you say I'm bad at disc golfing. Then you
I
say
didn't
I'm not
mean to
funny.
be so hostile coming on.
Well, you are. And now my mom, Dalton's mom, our German viewers, me, our Filipino listeners are all very upset with you.
Our Latino listeners and speakers.
And our Latino listeners and speakers, very upset with you. You know?
Okay, I understand that basically the entire world hates me right now, but this is my invitation for after this podcast. I'm going to Moshi Sushi. So if anyone wants to,
Beat up Jackson.
If anyone wants to absolutely just destroy Jackson in hand-to-hand combat, you know where he is. You literally know his exact location. So, the invitation's open. Isn't that right, Jackson?
or if you want to just get some sushi with me, that'd be fun.
Imagine having money.
I have cat bucks.
Imagine having a meal plan. All plus
Wait.
ratio.
We could hit up Eve and Sam, see if they can take us to Moshi Sushi.
I think they're doing something later.
They're composing electronically.
Electronically composed.
Nothing better than the day before it's due.
So
Yeah.
true. Hey, I don't get why procrastinating is so stigmatized. Because if you get it done and it's right, who cares?
Jackson Barnes, best procrastinator I've ever met.
Thank you.
You never met me.
Okay, but
Or maybe you have,
Okay, but you might procrastinate a lot. Jackson also procrastinates a lot, but the quality of work Jackson gets done when he procrastinates, he still gets a 3.9 GPA, and he doesn't do the work until the day before. And I do the work 5 days before, get it done early,
I have
but I still get
3.9
worse
GPA.
scores. I take my time, I do it. He does it late, gets a better score. Best procrastinator I've ever met.
Just called getting good.
Grow up, Isaiah. Grow up. Come on.
Grow up.
Grow up. All right, Jackson, can you wager your ability to procrastinate in this chess match between Isaiah and I? you will give Isaiah your ability to procrastinate. We will wager it to find out who's a better procrastinator. But it won't be me and you playing chess. It'll be me and Isaiah. How does that sound?
Sure. That sounds.
So the winner of the chess, if Isaiah wins, you'll be the better procrastinator. If I win, I'll be the better procrastinator.
Can we switch that?
So if I
So if you win, I'm the better procrastinator.
I don't like this. I don't like these odds. I know Isaiah's been
Joey
grinding.
blunders always queens.
Isaiah's
All
been
of one.
grinding chess. I feel like Isaiah's been on that chess grustle even. Grind plus hustle.
I'm not that great at chess. So far, Joey's beat me at it. I've
You beat me a couple times.
settled with the fact that I'm better at disc golf and he's better at chess.
You don't really have to settle on that. I mean, it's pretty obvious. At least it's pretty obvious that you're better than disc golf. I don't think that was up in the air. Chess, there's some leeway, but
Not
if
the
you-
best in the club though, even though I'm the president.
Shout out Jake H. Man carried us to a staunch dub against Heidelberg. Staunch.
-5.
-5 on a PDGA course.
3 people got under par.
And one person got 28 over par.
Curious.
Yeah, Jackson, very curious. It's totally Jackson, not totally me.
I was part of the doubles team, man. We won.
Yeah, Jackson won the doubles.
So it was hard competition.
Who else were you going up against?
The joke is that there was no competition.
Oh,
My favorite thing to do in playing chess is to just make random noises. It's Jackson will just do just some book opening. I'm he'll move his pawn 1 foot and I'm I wipe the sweat off my forehead even though nothing's happening. It's just funny to overreact.
As the intense orchestral music plays in the background.
I do love playing intense orchestral music. during chess. It adds flavor, especially like when like the real meat of the piece, like when the beat drops and you make a cool move.
The beat drop of orchestral music.
Yeah, when Mozart makes the beat drop, insane. It goes hard. But I think with that, I feel like we've spoken about most things.
My mom. Okay, so you mentioned earlier that you like interesting facts.
I do like interesting facts.
So this happened a few weeks ago, but my parents found out in a very odd and fascinating way that buzzards are attracted to some sort of chemical that is used in the like rubber sealing in between car doors and like windows and stuff.
Uh-huh.
You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Because my dad, he's a fisherman.
The Tom Jones.
Yeah, some people call him Tom the Fisherman, And he has a boat, and he took out his boat on the water and, parked the truck and trailer in the parking area, whatever. And he came back, and his truck was covered in like 20 buzzards. Like, just imagine like some weird apocalyptic looking, like 20, 25 buzzards all on top of your truck, in the bed, on the hood, on everything, right?
Were they like really close together? Just
yeah, like super like packed together.
Oh my
like,
gosh.
On top of his truck. And only his truck too. So there's like tons of other cars in this parking lot, right? But only his truck is covered in all these buzzards. And they caused $1,800 worth of damage
Oh my
on
goodness.
our truck. And it's because I guess they were picking out the rubber in between all the seams and stuff like that.
That's
I guess they
crazy.
were attracted to it or whatever.
Do you know another interesting fun fact that I got reminded of when you said that, is that there are spiders out there that are naturally attracted to gasoline. It's a yellow sac spider. They are attracted to gasoline. So if there's gasoline, they will seek it out. And Mazda, at one point, had a car. And the gas tank to this car was not very securely, hidden or not, or very easily accessible to outside elements. One of those outside elements being the spider. So what would happen in these Mazda cars before they got recalled was that spiders would get into the gas tank. They would like basically just start a colony in your gas tank, build webs, and that would like crack your the fuel storage, your tank. And so
Or turn your car into spider car.
yeah, so about 42,000 vehicles were recalled, and it was Mazda 6s from 2010 to 2012 had this issue. And like people would like take their car, or oh my lord, that's crazy. So people would like take their car to like mechanics because their gas tank was leaking, and they're like, "What's wrong with my gas tank?" And they get it open to find just
That's
full of
horrifying.
spiders.
That is horrifying. Dude.
Could you imagine being the poor mechanic? Like, all right, let's crack this baby open. Oh my god, and it's just full of spiders.
They're all like crawling out as soon as you open it, right? They're just like.
So yeah, they had
It's like
to
a wave of
fix that
spiders.
issue. So yeah, thankfully no more spider cars exist though, and hopefully
No more spider cars.
Hopefully no more buzzards will destroy your dad's truck.
Hopefully.
Fingers crossed. Does he have like total coverage? Does like insurance cover that?
We're good.
Okay. Imagine calling like your insurance and being like, "Yeah, I had $1,800 worth of damage done because I had some buzzards just demolish my car."
I'm more worried about the trauma, not the money.
The trauma of turning the corner and seeing your car covered in buzzards.
How do you
Knowing my
approach
dad,
a
he was
truck?
probably just like,
Well,
all right. Well, gets in the truck with them still
That's
on.
their car now.
excuse me, do you guys pay rent? Did you pay my car bill? No, get out.
What?
But yeah, I feel like that concludes everything that we can talk about.
Sure.
I feel like we're about done here.
Yeah.
We can wrap it up.
Yeah, shout out to the ghosts who started recording the show.
Shout out to the ghost who recorded pretty much a good majority of the show, I'd say. Maybe a
Probably
couple
all of
minutes.
it. I mean,
It says 1 hour 52, which means there's
so we
probably-
missed the opening song.
pretty much probably a couple interactions of dialogue. Who knows? We'll find
knows?
out. But yeah, thank you for listening. This has been On the Rocks with
Dylan Dalton.
and a Mockingbird featuring special guest Scoochie, JS Barnes 10. Follow him at JS Barnes 10 on TikTok.
TikTok, Twitter, Instagram.
Instagram. Well, not Twitter, because doesn't somebody have JS Barnes 10 on?
Oh yeah, she took it.
You also friend her.
JS Barnes on Twitter. Yeah.
Isaiah Miller, shout out him.
Isaiah Miller.
Isaiah Miller, light time. We like
Follow
to
the Captain's Club. Captain's
follow
Club on
Captain's
Instagram.
Club. Follow us on Instagram.
Isaiah
at
Miller
On the Rocks.
46 on Instagram.
I'm talking here. This is my show, Isaiah. My show.
I'm getting out my handles. You didn't. You gave out his handles, not my handles.
Well, then you don't. I shouted out his TikTok. He did the rest. So, have you spoken your piece? Have you broken the bread? Have you said what you want to say?
Sure.
Good. I turned your mic off. I'll stop you from interrupting me.
Shout out to 2 weeks from now.
Shout
our
out 2 weeks from
Halloween
now.
special.
Halloween special.
Come
special
out,
guest.
listen. It's going to be a hoot and a holly.
It will be a hoot and a holler. Who knows? Maybe I'll be dressed up as a Skittle. I will. I will be dressed up as a Skittle. That's not up for question. But yeah, On the Rocks with
Doom Dome.
the Mockingbird. Thank you for listening. I don't have a song queued up because I'm dumb and I forgot about that. So I'll just cut back to your regularly scheduled programming. What's playing right now? Balthazar, On a Roll. I guess that's what I will be. It says genre is indie pop, but with a band name Balthazar. I don't know if I believe that, but I guess we'll find out. Thanks for listening.